This is Watko's What the Hell is Going On Here? Is going on here? I've no idea. I just read it.
Well, welcome back. Forget about the manosphere. This is the sillisphere, if there is such a thing. And Debbie Holt, host of a brand new comedy night at the Black Market in the Warsop, is with us. Hi, Debbie. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in and being part of this. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been doing comedy now for nearly 2 years, I believe. So this is relatively new to you, I suppose.
Yeah, 18 months actually. Yeah, very new. People say, is it a bucket list? I think it was just one of those midlife crisis kind of things. You know, you look at your life and you think, is this it? And then you challenge yourself. So yeah, I went down to Nottingham. I did the Canal House in Nottingham, like 100+ seater, on a stage, all, you know, proper thing. Did me 5 minutes, came off, and people were hugging me. I thought it was like this all the time.
Brilliant.
And then probably the week after, I were in a pub, and there were about 6 in, so it was a reality check. But it's great fun. Meet lovely people, really enjoy it.
So really, you did it once, and you were only going to do it once,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're sort of building a bit of a career out of it. I mean, you're gigging all the time now.
Yeah. Two, at least twice a week, sometimes more. I kind of have an agreement with my husband that I can only go out twice a week. You know, it's like being grounded. So twice a week I can go, but then if I get a really good gig, you know, if I'm on with people I want to be on with, or if there's a chance of, you know, progression, then I'll do that. But my husband don't really buy it.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say that when I heard that you were doing, I heard about you from a comedy gig you were doing in Shirebrook, because that's where you're based, in Shirebrook,
I am,
of course,
yes.
which is in our area.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd reach out, and when I reached out to you, you said, well, I've just started a monthly comedy thing in Warsop at the Black Market. This is delightful Deborah's Laughing.
It is, yeah.
So, I mean, how much comedy is actually taking place locally?
Not a lot. No, there's a drought in this area, definitely. I mean, if you Google comedy near me, it'd bring up Sheffield, Nottingham, Derby. So, yeah, and it's kind of, Mansfield in the East Midlands has got a bad reputation for comedy. And I think it's not that the people don't want to laugh. Who doesn't want to laugh? It's just putting the time in and finding the right locations. But yeah, no, I was at the Ladybrook last night, the Ladybrook pub.
Brilliant.
On a Good Friday, on at 7:30. This shouldn't work. You know, Good Friday, daytime drinking, it shouldn't work. And it did. It worked. It was fantastic. The audience were into it. They all stayed in. They pretty much sat still. They were up and down to the bar all the time. And they engaged with us. It were, like I said, I was surprised, and not being disrespectful to the clients at all. It were more to do with it being a Good Friday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as you say, not a lot of comedy taking place locally. I know that they do some nights at the Palace, but I don't see that as sort of grassroots sort of stuff in pubs, in clubs and things like that. The last time I think there was a comedy night as such was about 20 years ago with a fella called Paul B. Edwards, who used to do it at the Late Lounge,
right?
Which is a long time ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're doing it again is fantastic. Obviously, you're putting this together, you're promoting it, you're the compere. Is this something that you wanted to do? I mean, it sounds like you wanted to be a comedian, really.
Yeah, no, it's much easier to turn up somewhere, do your 10, 15 minutes and leave. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about, you know, are people going to drop out? Are people going to turn up? You know, no, it's just what happened. And it's all off. We did a charity night at Carter Lane in Shirebrook, and we raised funds for Rhubarb Farm, which is up at Langworth. And all this comes this promotion side of it comes from that. It was just word of mouth.
You got in touch with me about that at the radio station, and that's where I sort of heard about you, and now it's sort of taking off. So first gig at Warsop in March, how did it go?
Fantastic. Amazingly well. For a launch night, we didn't know what to expect. They have an open mic night, the 1st and 3rd, which is it's a music night. And I'd been in to talk to them. We'd already made arrangements what night we were going to have the gig. And I went down to the music night and pinched 10 minutes of the stage time. And it was all musicians there. And they loved it. They were really receptive. And when we run the gig, a lot of them had come. And, you know, the feedback were good. The landlady was excited, you know, is happy to promote it. I'd say maybe 40 people on a first night. Brilliant.
And it's going to be on the last Thursday of every month going forward?
It's the 4th Thursday because we have some 5 week months, don't we? So
it's the blooming 5 week months.
Yeah, so it's the 4th Thursday of every month, 8 till 10ish, something like that. And we do it as pay what you like. We basically go around, you know, with a bucket, and then I share that out between the comedians because they need fuel money. We all need petrol money.
And obviously they're looking for gigs all the time. So, I mean, is it difficult to find people to come to the local area, to Warsop?
Not at the moment, no. I'm booked. I've got the gigs booked now through July. So it's April, May, June, July. So I've got 4 months worth of gigs already booked in. And I've got a girl booked in for October because she lives down south and she's visiting friends in Sheffield, and can I get her in while she's up?
So it's all about, we were chatting before we did this, it's all about gig time, you know, sort of time on stage for these comedians so they can hone their act.
Exactly. And we just do 10-minute spots. We put people in for 10-minute spots. I've tried to book a headliner more like the pros or semi-pros. I try to book them and I'm calling in lots of favours. Basically, that's it.
And these are people that you've gigged with elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've got a regular gig in Derby, am I right in saying?
Yeah, the comedy club, the Lamb Comedy Club. I'm a rotating host on there, so it's usually about every 5 or 6 weeks. But then I see grassroots. Then I see people who are doing the first ever gig, and also I'm seeing new people who'll come to work to Warsop.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Fantastic. I mean, are there many local comics?
Do you know what? There isn't really, and please, let's hope they get back to us and say, yeah, there is. I know a couple, an actual couple, a guy and his girl. I know them. Not really. Please, if there is, reach out. That'd be great.
Why do you think that is, that there aren't many comedians?
Because they're ever so funny round here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, they are. I mean, obviously, telling by your accent, you're not originally from Shirebrook.
No. Originally from Rochdale, but I've kind of been in this area for 20 odd years and my kids have settled down here.
You were a landlady, weren't you?
Yeah, I used to have a pub at the Rose and Crown on Stonyford Road. If anybody knows me, hi.
Yeah, exactly. They'll recognise you from pulling the pints.
Yeah, but that were in 2000, so it was 20 years ago. I like this area. It's far enough north to be northern. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you start getting down to Birmingham, and I'm sorry, but they're starting to get a bit southern. I like I like my northern folk. I like real people.
Oh, this is it.
I like real folk.
Well, as a Mansfield lad myself, you know, obviously I love it here. Mushy peas and all that jazz, you know.
Yep.
One of my friends says that that you can't get good mushy peas south of Warsop. I think that's rubbish. That's rubbish. You definitely get good mushy peas and good fish and chips.
When we did Carter Lane, we sold tickets because it were a charity night, and the biggest thing that sold it, especially to Carter Lane regulars, is that we put pie and peas on.
Pie and peas.
We put pie and peas on.
That's the legendary thing.
It were.
As soon as there's pie and peas...
Me and my husband made pie and peas for 140 people. Absolutely mad in it. Absolutely crackers. But it were great. It were great.
So Debbie, where do you want to take this then? Obviously, you say 18 months in to doing this. It was a bucket list thing, and now you're doing it regularly. You're putting on gigs.
Do you know what? There isn't really a plan. It's just kind of go with the flow. I hope that the black market venue, I hope that grows, and I'd like to take it in the back in the function room, because they've got a function room that does over 200 people, but you can separate it. So I'd like to take it in there, and I'd like it to become a ticketed event, because then I can get headliners, I can get TV standard.
Well, that would be great, wouldn't it?
But
do you think you'll ever get on the TV? I mean, this is kind of TV, but it's not TV. Would
No.
you like to?
Of course I would. Yeah, of course I would. No, I think, and I'm not putting myself down, but I think that I've come to comedy a bit late in life. I have got the ambition, I have got the drive, I've got the confidence, because I'm not scared of failing. I'm old enough to know who I am. I'm old enough. I'm not insecure. But I think as far as that kind of level, I think I'm too old.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
You just got to keep going and do what you do.
And I do, and there is a place for me. And there is. I'm not like a shock comedian. I swear a couple of times, but I swear because people don't expect it because of who I am. So can I tell stories, and then if I actually say the F word, I get a bigger response.
Because they're
the shock. It's the shock, and and it's like, oh. So I do it for that effect. I don't do it. Lots of comedians, lots of people, it's just part of the normal language. It's not part of my normal language. So I don't bring. Yeah, so I don't bring it to the stage unless it's got use.
Who are your heroes in the comedy world?
Well, Victoria Wood, of course, and Caroline Aherne, because she's a northern girl, and I like that kind of observational, just waffle.
Yeah.
I like that kind of comedy.
Mrs. Merton was just genius, wasn't it?
Gosh.
She was amazing. I said to you, that people from your neck of the woods make good comedians. And you sort of said it's because it's always raining and it's a drab part of the world.
It is. It's very grey. It's very grey. When people, when family do come down to visit us down here, it's kind of like being on holiday. Look at all this greenery. It's like, oh, there's trees. This is a lovely area, and we're in the middle. We're like the epicentre. We're kind of, all these big cities are around us, and we can nip into them and get out of them.
Yeah,
I'd
say that. Yeah.
Who wants to live? I like going to Nottingham. I like all the things they've got in Nottingham, the theatres and all that. But I don't want to live in the middle of that.
Yeah, that's fair dues. And the good thing about sort of here being in the middle of the country is that you can grab the comedians from the north and from the south, and they can all meet here in the epicentre, which is the Black Market in Warsop. That's where it's going to be.
I hope so. It is such a good venue. And the bar, even though, you see, when you do pub gigs, you run the risk of that people are at the pub and just happen to have comedy on. They're setting it up as a comedy night. So people are coming in for comedy. She said that on the non-open mic nights, usually just be a few people having a drink at the bar. But we filled the bar. We filled it with people who come to see comedy, and that's what you want.
Come for a laugh.
Yeah.
Come for a giggle. And there's nothing better than, going out, and particularly if you've had a bad, week at work, and have a giggle to some great comedians. And the fact that you're doing this locally, I think, has to be applauded. So,
it does.
Debbie, thanks for making it happen.
May it continue.
Right. It's now time for you to use the pink pointer of positivity. Hey. Basically, this is the pink pointer of positivity. I want you to point at something positive to cheer us up in these dark times. So there we go. If you point that at something that you think is particularly positive, there we go, pointing away.
Mushy peas!
Does that make you feel a bit better, Debbie?
I feel wonderful.
Good. I'm pleased. That is the magic of the pink pointer of positivity. Every home should have one. And of course, you can make one if you want. Instructions are on the website. There isn't a website, Debbie.
There isn't.
There isn't. Do you have any websites or social media to tell us of that people can go and...
There isn't a website.
There isn't a website either. You've got social media.
I've got social media.
If people want to find you, where do they find you?
Facebook, Debbie Holt, comedian. And they'll find me that way. And then there's links to YouTube and TikTok and all that kind of stuff, but off that site.
All that jazz. Are you into the world of social media? Are you social media mad?
No, it's a very useful tool.
Do you get help on that side of things?
Yes, from my 13-year-old granddaughter.
There you go. Well, she'll be an expert. So, Debbie, when is the big gig at the Black Market in Warsop?
So it's April 23rd. It starts...
St George's Day.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that done on purpose?
No. Maybe a theme there. We'll see. We'll think about
Did you dress up as a knight?
No.
No, okay.
Maybe a damsel.
A dragon? I mean, I could come as a dragon. I could just be in the audience, just sat there as a dragon. You could slay me halfway through.
My husband would say, I'm already a dragon.
Unbelievable. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
So April 23rd, it's a free night. If you enjoy the comedy, please give a donation, and all that money pays for petrol for the comedians.
We wish you the best of luck with it. Hopefully going to come along and see one of them.
Oh, you'll be very welcome.
Looking forward to coming to see you and see the others perform. When I said comedy heroes, who's some of your favourite ones that you've performed alongside? You know, some of the smaller comedians.
Oh, I've got to give him a shout out. My partner in crime's a guy called Chris Richmond. He was actually the first comedian that I met. The first gig I ever did, he came up to me and congratulated me and said really positive things. And I saw him around, and I've met, you know, I'm friends with his wife and everything, and he's just my go-to guy. You know, every time I do a new gig, like the Ladybrook that I did, and this, you know, the Black Market, Chris is on.
Wow.
I bring him on, and yeah, he's just solid and funny, and he reads the room, and he can work to however the room is, he will adapt. He's very good. And I can name lots and lots of other people, and I'm not going to start naming them because if I've missed somebody off, I'll be in trouble. So I'm just going to put Chris Richmond out there.
Chris Richmond, yeah.
And he's a local lad. He's getting towards Nottingham, but you know, like 30 minutes away.
So yeah, there we go. He can come up and do some bits for
you,
which is fantastic. Well, Deborah, thank you so much for coming in, and good luck with the Black Market. Delightful Deborah's Laughing, like the old 70s show.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
Goldie Hawn, and nobody else has used it since, so I've stole it.
Here comes the judge and all that business.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I just stole the name.
Just stole the name. You're not going to have it like all the stuff that the Laughing had and people coming out of windows and doors.
Yeah, but I don't think people remember it. You're the first person that said that. I think it's too American and too far back kind of thing.
Talking of America.
Oh, talking of America,
you used to live there, and you were a shock jock, were you not, in America? Like Howard Stern or something?
Well, it was in the times before PC, so anything went. I wouldn't say I was a shock jock, but it was the times of Howard Stern.
Yeah, and you were over there. Where were you doing that?
It was 80 miles north of Manhattan. It was a place called Poughkeepsie.
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 What was the station? Radio station?
WPDH, the home of classic rock and roll.
WPDH, the home of classic rock and roll. Something like that.
Exactly like that. That's how it sounded,
That's
yeah.
how it sounded.
And I had Delightful Deborah's Hour of British Rock.
Uh-huh.
And I just played British rock music, obviously, but we took phone calls. And I used to tell them that I was 5'8", long red hair, and rode a Harley. Just because this is radio, I'm 5'2" and round, and I couldn't get my leg over a Harley.
Well, I'm sure you could maybe try that at some point in the future. You could get you on the back of a Harley doing some comedy around the Mansfield circuit, potentially. Deborah, thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us in this tiny, tiny studio, and good luck with all your comedy ventures, and thank you for hopefully making this area the epicentre of comedy for the universe, the known universe.
Thank you, yes, that's what we aim for.